Okay, yo. What is good, guys? What is good? What is the chat saying? How are we all doing today, guys? I'm doing perfect right now. Welcome to my new study with me. So today we've got our let me leave it at that, guys. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? What are we seeing? Study with me today. We're gonna do 4 hours. We're gonna finish like at 1 or 2. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys doing. Is everything good? Is the sound good? Everything good? Here we go, chat. All right, guys, what we saying? GCSE study with me. Nothing too hard, nothing too easy. poModoro. Get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, man. See you guys. I'm back. You're back. Alright, shit. Oh, hold up, maybe you could. I might have it private, that's why, chat. Put it to the publicity. There we go, shit. Okay. Let me just write poModoro. Okay, yo. Alright. What are we saying though, chat? What are we saying? Is anyone here on the stream? If you are, make sure to flip in, join in, tune in. We're gonna be starting like 2 minutes, because it's 10 AM. I'm starting a bit too late. But these days I haven't been able to study that much, and I got a lot to catch up, so Yeah, man. Anyway, chat, let me know, innit? How are you guys doing though? Let me know. I can't lie. Just tell me, fam. I need to know still. Is this good? Is that better? Let's just leave it like that. I'll be in the chat. I can't be off today. But yeah, guys, we're doing a 50 minutes. You guys are ready? We'll start in 1 minute. We'll just wait for someone to tune in, maybe. Alright, chat. We'll start right now. Make sure you have everything ready. Nothing to lose, nothing. Focus today, guys. We need to focus. That's the aim of the game. Just focusing today. Paper 2 today, chat. Bye to paper 2. Hate paper 2. I don't even know anything about paper 2. I might as well check a recap because I actually don't know anything about paper 2. But I like biology. Anyways, chat, we're gonna start, yeah? If you haven't yet, so if you haven't yet tuned in the stream, please tune in. Everyone's welcome to free space. But yeah, we're gonna start right now, okay, guys? 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat.
GCSE Biology Paper 2 for Edexcel. This is good for higher and foundation tier, double combined and triple separate science. I'll tell you when some of the bigger concepts are for triple, but not what's for higher and foundation, as there's not a lot of difference honestly. And don't forget to check out the Science Shorts app to help you test your knowledge. Let's go. Plants also have organs. Leaves are where photosynthesis takes place, producing food for the plant. Water also leaves the plant through them, allowing transpiration to take place, the diffusion of water into roots and up the xylem. We say it's unidirectional as it only goes in one direction. The rate of transpiration can be increased by the following: increasing the temperature, decreasing the humidity, and increasing the air movement around the plant. All of these result in water evaporating from the leaves at a faster rate. Roots are where water and mineral ions enter the plant. The meristem are where new cells are made. Phloem, on the other hand, are the conveyor belts of cells that transport sugars, food, and sap up and down the plant. We call this translocation. That's bidirectional. The cross-section of a leaf looks like this. Every layer has its own function. At the top we have the waterproof waxy cuticle. That's not there to stop water from entering the leaf, but to stop it from evaporating from the top and causing the leaf to dry out. The upper epidermis just means outer layer, consists of transparent cells enter the plant. The meristem are down the plant. We call this translocation. That's directional. The cross-section of a leaf looks like this. Every layer has its own function. At the top we have the waterproof waxy cuticle. That's not there to stop water from entering the leaf, but to stop it from evaporating from the top and causing the leaf to dry out. The upper epidermis just means outer layer, consists of transparent cells that allow light to pass through to the palisade mesophyll layer. Mesophyll just means a layer in the middle. These are chock full of chloroplasts, so this is where the majority of photosynthesis takes place. Below that is the spongy mesophyll layer that has lots of gaps around the cells to increase the surface area across which gas exchange can occur. Carbon dioxide diffuses into the cells, while oxygen and water diffuse out. We also have the vascular bundle that includes the xylem and phloem. The lower epidermis is the bottommost layer of the leaf, and it has holes in it called stomata, which is where gases enter and exit the leaf. The size of a stoma is controlled by the guard cells that flank the hole. They change size to control the rate at which gases enter and leave. For example, they close the stomata at night to reduce the rate of water loss, as less water is needed for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis happens in chlorophyll, in chloroplasts, in plant cells to provide food for a plant. Here's the word and balanced chemical equation for it. And as energy is needed in the form of light to make this reaction happen, this is an endothermic reaction. The glucose made from photosynthesis is used for respiration or or is turned into starch or fat as a store of energy. Cellulose is used to produce cell walls, and amino acids are used for synthesizing proteins. The rate of photosynthesis increases with higher temperature, unless it's so high that enzyme denaturing occurs, increasing light intensity, or increasing CO2 concentration. Any one of these can be a limiting factor, by the way. For example, even if there's lots of carbon dioxide and it's warm, if there's not enough light, the rate of photosynthesis will be limited by this. In other words, it doesn't matter how much you increase the other two, it won't get any faster. A graph might look like this. Before the graph plateaus, levels out, the variable on the x-axis has to be the limiting factor. After, it isn't. It must be one of the other two instead. Sometimes you'll have two lines, for example, for different temperatures, and that shows that temperature must be the limiting factor. Here's the practical on this. We can measure the rate of photosynthesis by submerging pondweed in an inverted measuring cylinder. We measure the volume of oxygen made over time. We can instead count the bubbles, but that's less accurate. The independent variable could be the light intensity, and that's changed by varying the distance from the light source, for example, a lamp. However, light intensity follows an inverse square relationship. In other words, if you double the distance, the light intensity quarters, 3 times further, 1/9 of the intensity, so therefore the rate of photosynthesis should also follow suit. Plants also have their own hormones which we can utilize when growing them. Gibberellins cause seed germination to occur, which we can add to seeds to give them a wake-up call. It also promotes flowering and increases the size of fruits. Ethene induces ripening of fruits. Auxins control shoot and root growth. It's destroyed by sunlight, so it gathers on the shaded side of a shoot, causing an unequal distribution, causing more growth and elongation of cells on the shaded side, so the shoot bends toward the sun or light source. This is what we call phototropism. In roots, however, auxins inhibit growth. The hormone gathers on the bottom of a root. That means the top side grows more quickly, causing the root to grow. Downwards. This is called geotropism. We can also use auxins as weed killers, rooting muscles to produce more heat. The endocrine system is a system of glands that produce or secrete hormones that travel to effectors via the blood. This is, of course, slower than any signal carried by the nervous system. The pituitary gland in your brain can be considered the main or master gland, as it produces hormones in response to stimuli that travel to other glands in your body in order to make them start producing certain chemicals. Examples are the pancreas, which produces insulin, the thyroid, which controls all sorts of things like growth and heart, muscle and digestive function, and more, the adrenal glands, which produce adrenaline, and the ovaries or testes, which release eggs or sperm, depending on which you have. Speaking of the pancreas then, it's involved in making sure your blood glucose levels aren't too high or low. If they're too high, the pancreas secretes insulin, which causes glucose to move from the blood into your cells to be used for respiration, and in your body in order to make them start producing certain chemicals. Examples are the pancreas, which produces insulin, the thyroid, which controls all sorts of things like growth and heart, muscle and digestive function, and more, the adrenal glands, which produce adrenaline, and the ovaries or testes, which release eggs or sperm, muscles to produce more heat, slower than any signal carried by the nervous system. The pituitary in your body in order to make them start producing certain chemicals. Examples are the pancreas, which produces insulin, the thyroid, which controls all sorts of things like growth and heart, muscle and digestive function, and more, the adrenal glands, which produce adrenaline, and the ovaries or testes, which release eggs or sperm, depending on which you have. Speaking of the pancreas then, it's involved in making sure your blood glucose levels aren't too high or low. If they're too high, the pancreas secretes insulin, which causes glucose to move from the blood in your body in order to make them start producing certain chemicals. Examples are the pancreas, which produces insulin, the thyroid, which controls all sorts of things like growth and heart, muscle and digestive function, and more. The adrenal glands, which produce is what you have when your pancreas can't produce enough insulin, and you have to take insulin in your liver. If these levels are too low, on the other hand, the pancreas produces another hormone called glucagon, which causes the liver and muscles to turn glycogen back into glucose, ready to be used. Type 1 diabetes is what you have when your pancreas can't produce enough insulin and you have to take insulin injections to do the job instead. Type 2 is when your cells no longer absorb the glucose as they should, so you have to be careful with your diet, and if you're overweight or obese, you have a much higher risk of developing this. Your body loses water when you exhale, sweat, or urinate. If your body has too much water, let's say for example you drink too much, your kidneys remove it from your blood at a faster rate, where it's mixed with urea to become urine. Urea contains ammonia, which is cause more water to be lost in urine. In both cases, the water level returns to normal, so this is an puberty. First, FSH, made by the pituitary gland, causes an egg to mature in the ovary. This also causes the ovaries to produce estrogen, which causes the uterus lining to thicken. It also inhibits or stops the production of FSH, so no more eggs mature in that cycle. Very clever. Estrogen also causes the pituitary gland to produce LH, luteinizing hormone, which causes the egg to be released, and it starts to travel towards the uterus via the oviduct over several days. Finally, progesterone is also produced by the ovaries, which maintains the uterus lining. This is great news if you're looking to get pregnant. If not, you need to find some way of stopping a sperm to travel towards the uterus via the The oviduct over several days. Finally, progesterone is also produced by the ovaries, which maintains the uterus lining. This is great news if you're looking to get pregnant. If not, you need to find some way of stopping a sperm cell from meeting an egg cell. Contraception options include pills that inhibit FSH production, so no eggs mature, progesterone injections that stop any eggs from being released, or you can just have an implant that slowly releases this over months or years if needed. Condoms for men and diaphragms for women are simple barriers to stop sperm from reaching an egg. An IUD, an intrauterine device like a copper coil, prevents a fertilized egg from implanting in the lining. You could quite simply just avoid sex for some time after the egg has been released, as that's when it travels slowly down the oviduct where a sperm can meet it. Clamping the oviducts, sometimes referred to as having your tubes tied, or cutting the sperm duct, either of these will obviously stop the cells from meeting. Some couples, however, would love to have children but can't due to infertility. Sometimes it's something fairly simple, like not enough FSH or LH produced, which injections can fix. The most expensive solution to bigger issues is IVF, in vitro fertilization. Eggs are harvested from the woman after inducing their release and will then be fertilized in the lab with the prospective father's sperm. Any embryos that develop are inserted back into the uterus, where they will hopefully embed in the lining and grow normally. The success rate, sadly, is very low, but there's also the risk that there could be more than one baby born, which might not be desirable. The heart is at the center of the circulatory system. The heart is at the center, which might not be desirable. The heart is at the center of the circulatory system, the transport system of your body. We call it a double circulatory system because blood enters the heart twice every time it's pumped around the body. Deoxygenated blood from the body enters in the right side of your heart. By the way, you always because blood enters the heart twice every time it's pumped around the body. Deoxygenated blood from the body enters in the right right side of your heart by the way you always look at the heart or any diagram as if it's yours, and it enters through the vena cava, the main vein, into the right atrium of the heart. The valve between the right atrium and the right ventricle stops backflow just like all valves, to stop deoxygenated blood from going back into the body. The heart muscles contract and the blood goes through the pulmonary artery to the lungs to be oxygenated. It then comes back to the heart through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium. It then goes into the left ventricle, then out to the body through atrium. It then goes into the left ventricle, then out to the body through the aorta. The left side of the heart has thicker walls, as the left ventricle has to pump blood to the whole body, whereas the right ventricle only has to pump it to the lungs. A group of cells in the wall of the right atrium create electrical pulses that cause the heart muscles to contract and the heart to beat. If these aren't working properly, you can be given an artificial pacemaker to do the same job. Blood vessels that go away from the heart are always arteries, veins towards. That means that arteries carry oxygenated blood apart from the pulmonary artery, and vice versa for veins. Arteries have thicker walls to withstand the higher pressure, and so that means they have a thinner lumen, the hole in the middle that the blood travels through. Veins have thinner walls due to the lower blood pressure, but have valves to stop backflow. Arteries split and get smaller and smaller until they end up as tiny capillaries with one cell thick walls to allow the fast diffusion of molecules in and out of cells. The heart is a muscle, so it needs its own supply of oxygen and therefore blood to keep the muscle pumping. This is delivered by the coronary artery. If this is blocked by the buildup of fatty deposits, a heart attack can occur. This is CHD, coronary heart disease. Stents are little tubes inserted into blood vessels to keep them open, so blood can flow in this case. Statins are drugs that reduce cholesterol, which in turn reduces the fatty deposits. Faulty heart valves result in backflow. occurring. These can be replaced with artificial ones. Along with plasma and red blood cells, blood also carries white blood cells which combat infection, and platelets which clump together to clot wounds and stop bleeding. Breathing isn't respiration, but it does provide the necessary oxygen for respiration to happen in our cells. Air moves down the trachea into the bronchi, then the bronchioles, and it ends up in the alveoli, the air sacs, where it diffuses into the blood vessels around it. Alveoli are lumpy, so they have a large surface area, so this diffusion happens at a fast rate. The oxygen then binds to the hemoglobin in your red blood cells. They then transport it to every cell in your body to be used for respiration. Carbon dioxide made from respiration is dissolved into the plasma of the blood, where it diffuses into the lungs and is exhaled. Some water is also excreted this way too, as you know, when you breathe on a cold mirror, for example. Every cell, bar red blood cells, has mitochondria, the site of respiration. Respiration takes place in every organism to provide energy for other chemical reactions to take place, and also for movement and warmth. Aerobic respiration means with oxygen. Here's the word and balanced chemical equations. As you can hopefully see, it's the opposite of photosynthesis. During exercise, your breathing rate and heart rate rise to increase the rate at which oxygen is delivered to your cells for respiration. Anaerobic respiration occurs when there's a lack of oxygen. Glucose is instead converted straight into lactic acid, which releases some energy but less than aerobic respiration does. This is what you feel when your muscles ache during intense exercise. This poison can't stay in your body, so there is an oxygen debt built up. That means more oxygen is needed afterward to break down this lactic acid in the liver, where it's turned back into glucose. That's why your breathing rate and heart rate take some time to return to normal after exercise. Plant and yeast cells can respire anaerobically, but slightly differently. Instead, glucose is turned into ethanol and carbon dioxide. That's why yeast is used when baking. The CO2 bubbles made cause the bread or cake to rise. This is also called fermentation. It's also used to make alcoholic drinks as ethanol is produced. Metabolism is defined as the sum of all reactions in a cell or organism. These can include respiration, conversion of glucose into starch, glycogen and cellulose, fatty acids and glycerol are built up into lipids, and also the breakdown of excess proteins. Organisms generally compete for food, water, space, and other things like CO2 and light for plants, shelter and mates for animals. Interdependence is the term given to the fact that organisms can rely on each other for these things, and they can form a community. Abiotic factors in an ecosystem are the non-living aspects, for example, light, temperature, moisture, soil pH, CO2, and O2 levels in the air. Biotic factors are due to organisms and things like food that's available, predators, prey, other organisms around, pathogens, breeding behavior, and more. We can use a quadrat to estimate the size of a population of an organism in an area by sampling, say, around 10% of the area, taking a mean and then multiplying it for the whole area. Using a quadrat with a transect allows us to observe how population distribution or density changes over a distance. A food chain shows the direction that biomass and therefore energy flows in an ecosystem from one trophic level to another. Producers are any organisms that use sunlight to produce biomass, that's usually plants or algae. Primary consumers eat the producers, that's herbivores that only eat plants. Using a quadrat with a transect allows us to observe how population distribution or density changes over a distance. A food chain shows the direction that biomass and therefore energy flows in an ecosystem from one trophic level to another. Producers are any organisms that use sunlight to produce biomass, that's usually plants or algae. Primary consumers eat the producers, that's herbivores that only eat plants, or omnivores that eat both meat and plants. Then predators known as secondary consumers, that could be carnivores or omnivores, prey on these, and then we can have tertiary consumers as well. Apex predators, they're at the top of the food chain. They have no natural predator above them. Population numbers of all of these will fluctuate in an ecosystem over time. By the way, this food chain is possible. I looked it up. Bears have been known to eat foxes. All life is carbon-based, which means that when organisms die, the carbon is recycled, which ultimately can be then used to make more organisms. One way, of course, is when CO2 is produced, which plants then use to grow. Bacteria also release CO2 due to respiration when an organism undergoes decomposition. Temperature and other factors can affect rate of decomposition. Water also follows the cycle. Rain falls, precipitation then runs into rivers, then into the sea, then it's evaporated, and the cycle continues. Farmers utilize decomposition to produce natural fertilizers that can then be used on crops. It can also be used to produce methane gas to be used as fuel. Let's be honest, we all take clean drinking water for granted, but many people around the world don't have that. Potable water is what we call water that has low enough levels of salt and microbes that it's safe to drink. In most countries, water is taken from a freshwater source, so little salt is dissolved in it. It's passed through filter beds to remove large insoluble particles, then sterilized to kill microbes, usually using chlorine, but we can also use ozone or ultraviolet light. In some countries, there are few or no freshwater sources, so they must get seawater and remove the salt. This is called desalination, which can be done through distillation, but also by using special membranes that employ reverse osmosis. However, both of these require a huge amount of energy. Potable water isn't pure water though. In fact, it's unwise to drink pure or distilled water in large amounts. As there's nothing dissolved in it, lots of water will move into your cells via osmosis and they become turgid, and that can be dangerous. Nitrogen also follows a cycle. Nitrogen gas in the atmosphere, N2, is converted into nitrates by nitrogen-fixing bacteria found in soil or root nodules of some plants. Other bacteria and some fungi convert proteins into ammonia during decomposition of urine, feces, or dead organisms. This ammonia is converted into nitrates by nitrifying bacteria. Now that we have nitrates, they can enter plants through the roots and can be used by them for growth. Nitrates are turned back into nitrogen gas by denitrifying bacteria. Gosh, there's a bacterium for everything. Man-made fertilizers contain nitrates to help crops grow. Of course, if too much is used, water, say rain, can cause it to run off into ponds and lakes where the water is still. This causes algae on the surface to bloom, making a barrier that stops light from reaching underwater plants. These then die, and respiring bacteria feeding on this dead plant material use up more oxygen in the water, starving fish and other creatures of it, and they die. This is eutrophication. Biodiversity is one of those buzzwords that's very much in vogue at the minute. Basically, it just means how many different types of organisms you have in an ecosystem. High biodiversity generally makes for a stable ecosystem, as organisms don't have to depend on one species for a resource, for example. Human development usually results in lower biodiversity. Such development also poses problems when it comes to waste. We're having to find more ways of disposing sewage, fertilizers, toxic chemicals, atmospheric pollution, and more to reduce our impact on the environment. One factor is the land that we need for building, quarrying, farming, and disposing of waste. An example of this is the destruction of peat bogs to make compost, which affects the habitat of many organisms and microorganisms. Burning peat also releases CO2. Deforestation, bad on a big scale, flattening forests reduces biodiversity, and it's often done to create farmland. A pyramid of biomass is a way of viewing a food chain which shows us how much mass CO2. Deforestation, bad on a big scale, flattening forests reduces biodiversity, and it's often done to create farmland. A pyramid of biomass is a way of viewing a food chain which shows us how much mass enters the next trophic level, relatively. You need to be able to draw one on graph paper using numbers supplied in the question, and also calculate the percentage absorbed by the next level. As per usual, any percentage is equal to the bit divided by the lot times 100. Of course, it's always a pyramid, and that shows us that biomass is lost at each level, as not all biomass is absorbed or consumed into the next organism. Some is lost due to the organisms living for some time before being eaten by a predator, for example. They have to move, they have to excrete. It's also lost as water, urea, and CO2. Food security is a big thing at the minute, especially in these uncertain days. Food is becoming scarcer due to increasing world population, changing diets. Food is a big thing. If a species is fished at a greater rate than its breed, click on the card to take you to the playlist for all of the
Alright guys, that is session number 1 done. Well done if you made it far. We're going to take our long breaks now. Make sure you get some rest, close your eyes, and yes, don't get distracted by anything rather than just relaxing. Yeah guys, trust, come on. Come on. Gotta get rest as well. Guys, I'm back. I took like some long break, I'll be honest, because I was tired as hell. But anyways, we're back. Yeah, on to session number 2. So we're gonna go. How to convert centimeters to volume. What happens in the chlorophlost? Are the three main types of blood? Platelets. I feel that too much. Last one. Come on. Oh yeah. That was easy. Alright guys, now time for our long break, 10 minutes. Well done if you stick to the end. Keep on going like this, and let's do it, man. Come, let's go. Alright guys, on our session number 3. Session number 3, boys. So 3, 2, go. Can I come on again? for my GCSE test on Henry and his ministers, do we need... On my GCSE test for Henry and his ministers, do we need to know detailed about the Battle of Spurs, or do we just need to know how it affects Wolsey and his way of developing as a chancellor? Okay, alright. So the war, he realized Wolsey was brilliant at administrative tasks he hated doing. Exhausted by 1515, Wolsey appointed Lord Chancellor of England and was made Cardinal by the Pope. Wolsey's legal reforms on Tower Chambers. So the Court of Chancery, Wolsey used this court to deliver justice based on equity rather than strict common law technicalities. It dealt with property disputes, wills and contracts. The Court of Star Chamber and the Challenger. Court of Star Chamber, this became Wolsey's ultimate political weapon. It was a royal court made up by the King's Council where nobles could be tried regardless of their wealth or status. So challenging the elite. Wolsey. I want more of a background of Wolsey though. I would like to know a bit of a background about Court of Chancery. Wolsey used his court to deliver justice based on equality. Challenging the elite. Wolsey actively encouraged the poor to bring cases against the nobility under his watch. And under his watch, starting annually cases closed, segregated from roughly 120 cases to 112 cases a year to 120. The motivation: while Wolsey generally wanted a fairer legal system, he also deeply enjoyed using the courts to humiliate arrogant nobles who mocked his low wealth. So here's my financial reform, the problem solution, and the clerical tax. The problem: Henry aggressive foreign policy he had completely drained the 300,000 pounds his father left him behind. 15th and 10th brought in. Solution: the Tudor subsidies. Wolsey 1523. Wolsey designed a highly effective nationwide income tax. Instead of changing flat rates, officials assessed people's actual wealth and taxed them accordingly. A raised rate for 300,000 between 1513 and 23 alone. Then the clerical taxes and crown lands. He also forced the church to pay high taxes and passed an act of resumption. 1515. To take back lands to the king, and he had previously given away as gift or restoring Corrigan. Economic reforms and enclosures. The enclosure crisis, the landlords were converting arable lands into pasture lands for sheep because the wool trade was incredibly profitable. They fenced off common land, tearing down villages and leaving tenants, farmers homeless. The 1517 inquiry, Wolsey launched a massive national inquiry into illegal enclosures. He dragged 216 landlords to court, forcing them to rebuild broken houses and tear down their fences. The backlash. This move did little to permanently halt enclosures, had a massively escalated the nobility anger towards Wolsey, setting the stage for his eventual political isolation. Alright chat, give me a second. I'm gonna pause this because I'm gonna now I need to charge my phone. Alright guys, I'm back. We're gonna keep on starting. The thing is, yeah, my phone is like overboiled and I use my phone to do revision, so yeah. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm telling you, man. There's no one even here in this stream, but it's so dead. It's actually so dead. Oh, hold on. Yo, what is up, Boozy Boozy? What are you saying? How are you doing? Anyways, keep on gonna put the okay guys, I'm gonna keep it going. Okay guys, we got a 10-minute break. We start now. Let's go. Last session of the day. Yo chat, I'll come back streaming later, like in an hour or so. I had to just clear my mind in a bit.